about blues turnarounds in the key of A, and I've got two different turnarounds that we're going to work. They're both, you can flip them both around, and at the end of this video, we're going to put the two turnarounds together and have an aha moment. All right, if you're new to the 12-bar blues or to turnarounds, the turnaround happens in the last two measures of a 12-bar blues. The last four measures would be sometimes an E chord to a D chord, and then the turnaround happens over the A chord and ends usually on an E chord that brings us back to the beginning of the 12-bar blues. It sounds like this. Here are the last four measures of a 12-bar blues. E, D, A. Back to the beginning. All right, so the first one that I have here, the A turnaround, starting on the 7th and 6th frets of the 5th and 3rd string. Looks like this, those two notes. And you're gonna take it down a fret, and then, so those are all the same position. Then you're gonna switch, and you're gonna go to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and the 4th fret of the 5th string. This gets you an A, back to the A chord, the C sharp and the A of the A chord. We started up here on the E and C sharp of an A chord, walk down chromatically, and then end on the two notes of that triad again, C sharp and the A on that 5th string and 3rd string. Then we go to an E7 chord, right? And I'm using the regular E chord, but then adding my pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, right there, to get that E7 sound, all right? So that whole turnaround sounds like this. A pick. I'm just using my fingers because it's easier to pick out those individual notes and have you be able to hear them. All right, so to do that again. Okay, now we can do that the other way. Instead of going down, we could start on the bottom two notes and walk our way up and then use a different E7 chord up here. Let's try it this way. We're going to start on the 2nd fret and 4th fret, right here, and we're going to walk up, right? And then I'm going to hit an E7 chord that's like a C7 shape, right? 7th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret of the middle four strings. Right, so that sounds like this. If we're going last four measures, E, D, all right, so that's the 5th and 3rd string turnaround that there's other ones you could do in the key of A, but that's the first one I like. And then inverting that one. Okay, so when you get these two down, these two ideas, it's basically one idea, just going the other way. This is a little bonus one. So this is on the 4th string and 2nd string. This is the other turnaround you hear a lot, especially in the key of A. You're starting on the 5th fret and 5th fret of the 4th and 2nd string. You've got a G and an E here, okay? This is actually the 7th of an A7 chord, and this is the 5th of an A7 chord, and we're walking down to the 5th and the 3rd of an A chord. And then you'd hit an E chord. this one ascending instead of descending, hitting that same E7. I used, when I went down, I used the open E7. When I went back up, I used the 7th fret E7. All right. So doing that, if I could do the last 4 measures, E, D, A. Or if I'm going up, all right, so here's our aha moment. If we have our first lick and our second lick and combine them, I put the first one in red and the second one stays in black, we have this lick that happens. You can play both of them at the same time, and what you have is an A7 chord. You go down 1 fret, you get this G sharp 7 chord. There's the root note. G7 chord with our root note, and then an A chord with the C sharp in the bass. Now, what that sounds like is this. You have E, D, A. To me, that's a really good end to the song, playing all of those notes together. I like playing the double stops, the 2 notes at a time turnarounds. Combining them is a pretty big sound. Especially if you're a trio, this works fine. But if you've got another guitar player, this is kind of dominating that sound a little bit. You want to leave a little space for the other guitar player. So, another last little thought about this. This G7 chord, right? There's no G in this chord. And the spelling of this could be a diminished chord. It could be a G sharp diminished chord, actually, without the G sharp in it. Call it a D diminished chord. It resolves very nicely to an A chord. So here's the G sharp diminished. And here's... But that's for another time when we get into diminished sounds. But I hope you enjoy these turnarounds. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Please have a great holiday, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.